So Treyarch today held an interesting live stream discussing Black Ops 4 multiplayer, and they talked a lot about the mechanics, things that we've already seen in the community reveal, things we've talked about here on Carnage already, a lot of things that people kind of have an idea how things are going to work in the game. David Vonderhaar also kind of discussed how all the different mechanics that are new to the game all come together and flow, instead of looking at them as specific features, to look at the game as an entirety. He also talked a little bit about some of the other modes that are coming to the game, the new game modes and such. But one of the new things that they discussed that was extremely interesting was maps. That really took up a lot of the ending part of the live stream. And that's what we're going to be talking about today in today's video. It's very interesting. I'm really excited to talk about this. We've already talked about a leak last week that turns out that it's partially false. The exact maps are probably not going to be the maps that are actually in the game, like we talked about in that potential leak. However, the fact that I think is more important, that we're going to be seeing a lot of multiplayer maps, is something we're going to cover here again in today's video. And also with this new information, I think we have some like actual fact to that leak. So today, guys, like I said, we're going to be talking about the multiplayer maps that they talked about today in the Treyarch live stream. They said that we're going to be getting 4 remakes from past Black Ops titles. The first one that I want to talk about is, as you're watching it here, is Summit. Summit will be coming back to Black Ops 4 as a remake, and it's very interesting to see that happen. We have seen Summit remade before, which honestly is something I think a lot of people have already forgot about, because I didn't really see anybody talking about it on Twitter, but it was remade in Black Ops 2, and it was known as Uplink, which is a rainy setting rather than the original snowy setting in Call of Duty Black Ops 1. So the map has been remade. It's obviously a very popular map, and the fact that it's a very good map, it's awesome to see it returning, and I can't wait to see how they've reimagined it for Black Ops 4. Now, next up we have Jungle. Now, this was a extremely desired map. I actually saw several people tweet about the fact that having this as a remake would be super cool, and to see it actually implemented as a remake is awesome, because this map has never been remade before. It's actually a completely new, reimagined first remake that we've ever seen, and it was an extremely popular map in Black Ops, so to see it come back so many years later is going to be awesome. And the cooler part, in my opinion, is to see how they reimagine it. I really can't wait to see how they reimagine Jungle, because Jungle is such a unique setting. It's not just like a bunch of buildings that they can just kind of reskin. It's a jungle. So are they gonna bring it back like actually as a jungle, or are they really gonna switch it up? I hope that it's still a jungle based map, and it's just like extremely vibrant, and maybe there's just more going on that's more exciting. I don't know, but I guess we'll wait and see. So that's really exciting to see them bringing that back. And then next up we have obviously Nuketown. They 100% confirmed Nuketown is coming back to Black Ops 4. That was obviously expected, and when David Vonderhaar at the Black Ops 4 community reveal said that Blackout, the Battle Royale mode coming to Black Ops 4, was 1,500 times the size of the Nuketown map, that kind of gave us an idea of, oh, he's kind of using that as a hint that, yes, it's coming back to the game. Well, they confirmed that today, and the most interesting part, and this is super exciting, guys, it kind of goes back with our speculation that DLC is going to be free in this game. Nuketown is coming back. It's not coming back, however, in October when the game drops. In fact, it's coming in November, a month later, after the game drops, and it's coming out free for everybody. It's going to be completely free. So that kind of adds to that whole idea that yes, Nuketown is going to be free, and it's going to be a part of maybe monthly DLC drops. So I'm super excited to hear that Nuketown will be free for absolutely everybody that has Black Ops 4. They also mentioned that the Nuketown map is kind of going back to the original Cold War vibe that it had in Black Ops that you're watching right now. So honestly, Nuketown is going to look the closest as it has ever looked to Black Ops 1 than the other games. That's kind of what the idea that they gave us is. It's not going to be like reimagined. It's not going to, you know, look like a futuristic setting. Apparently, it is going to have that same vibe that it has in this one, the original Black Ops 1. Probably more vibrant and obviously updated, but I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes down. Then we're getting Firing Range as a remake as well. Now, once again, Firing Range is something we have seen remade before. It was remade as a map called Studio, ago, and it was pretty good. It was nice to see it come back as a remake. Now, honestly, personally, I'm not that excited to see it remade. I don't think that it needs to be remade. I'm not that excited about Firing Range, but it is a good map, so I'm not disappointed either. And to be honest, I think in the minority in this opinion, because in fact, when all of these maps were announced, just like earlier today, it had its own community trend of like several thousand tweets, and it was the only one that was popping up as an actual trend, not even Nuketown. So I guess people are very excited to see that return, and I think it's gonna be exciting to see it kind of return for a game that plays like Black Ops 4. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, to be honest. But next up, we have a very interesting remake that personally I thought was the most interesting, and that is Slums, because Slums is obviously a game from Black Ops 2. All these other ones were from Black Ops 1, other than Nuketown. Nuketown was in all the games, but Slums from Black Ops 2, I thought that was a very interesting choice. Yes, it's an extremely popular map, but I thought it was still a little bit random. However, I'm not complaining. I think it's a beautifully laid out map, and it plays extremely well. I really like Slums, so I'm super pumped about it, especially because it's a small map, and that's something that we knew already, that Black Ops 4, all the maps are extremely small, and that's gonna really be popular for all of the community to have small maps come back as a standard, because that's just makes the game play so much faster. And on top of the new standard of 5v5 instead of 6v6, that's also a big plus. Now, what I want to talk about for the rest of this video is kind of where we stand for Black Ops maps as of now, Black Ops 4 maps. So with this big announcement of all these remakes returning to the game for Black Ops 4, we now have, and by the way, plus they added another map that they're actually going to be premiering at E3, which by the way, I will be attending and will be recording footage of the new map Frequencies, so stay tuned for that content here on Carnage. But Frequency was another map I meant to mention that was a brand new map that's coming to Black Ops 4, and that adds, you know, 4 brand new maps that we've seen on top of the 3 that we've already premiered here on Carnage, you know, Payload and those maps. So that's 4 maps, and Frequency looks pretty good. It looks really small, it looks fast-paced, it looks very tight corners, so, you know, shotguns and SMGs are going to be extremely dominant on that map, but it does look like a fantastic map, very bright and vibrant. But guys, so what we know now is that there are 9 multiplayer maps that have already been teased to us. There's already 9. The game, you know, hasn't even come out or anything like that. There hasn't been like too much information, and we already know of 9 maps. That's, you know, the remakes, the 5 remakes, plus the 4 brand new maps that are coming to the game. So that is huge news that we already know about 9 maps, and it's not even, you know, even close to the game's launch. We're still in June. So what I'm saying in regards to that leak that came back a while ago is that I think we're going to be seeing a lot of multiplayer maps. We're already up to the same amount of maps that Call of Duty World War II had at launch, and we're getting 8 maps. We know of 8 maps that are going to be with us right at launch. Nuketown, like I said, comes out in November, but that's 9 maps total, 8 maps for launch, and like I said, we still have months to go. So I honestly think we're going to be easily seeing 15 plus multiplayer maps in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is extremely good, because that kind of ranks it up there with Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, those games that we saw 16 multiplayer maps at launch. And honestly, if they break that record and give us more than 16, that's going to be obviously Call of Duty's first, but that would be extremely good for the game's replayability, because maps, in my opinion, are the most important thing to keeping the game fresh. It really is, especially those maps that come out at launch. DLC is just, it dies. DLC is really not that popular for Call of Duty, especially the maps, unless we see it done differently, which I think we are going to, and I really hope it's the case. If DLC maps are completely free, absolutely everybody, then it basically is maps that like are just as launch. DLC maps have always been treated differently because only people with DLC can play on them, so it's a completely different pool of players playing on those maps, and kind of dies quickly. Like DLC maps usually die and people don't buy them or whatever it might be. So to see the potential that maps, DLC maps, are just going to be free for everybody is massive, and I think this time around we're going to be seeing a lot of Call of Duty maps, 20 plus obviously by the time DLC is over, as long as we don't get like 12 or 13 maps at the beginning, which would still be good. 13 especially, that would be good, but you know, I'm hoping we see more than that. I hope we see 15 plus, but the fact that we already know about 9, that's a good sign, guys. So regardless, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know about which map you are most excited to see return to Black Ops 4, whether it be Summit, whether it be Jungle, Nuketown, or Slums. Let me know, guys. I'm very curious. Personally, I think I have to say that I'm most excited about Jungle returning, just because we've never seen it reimagined, and then next up is Slums. Those two maps, since we've never seen them reimagined, I'm really looking forward to having them back, and they're fantastic maps as well. So anyways, guys, hope they're having a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.